in state leadership in the United States of America, in every state where people have been falsely indicted, President Trump and others, there are 2 state legislators who have stepped forward to take the heat to say this is not right, we are not going to stand for this, we're not going to sit by, and they are in this room right now. They are on this panel, right here.
We're talking about what is going on in the state of Georgia right now, and it's horrendous. We all see it. 18 people and Donald Trump have been indicted for expressing their First Amendment rights to question the integrity of an election.
We are fighting for our First Amendment rights. All rights come from God, the cornerstone of America. And it's very disconcerting that people are not listening to what Colton and I are trying to do to remove a rogue DA in the state of Georgia. We are in a war, folks.
What I'm fighting for is ancient, and that's why some folks are calling me the Rhino Wrangler, and you too, Charlize, because our job is to encourage these representatives and these senators to begin to take action. The first step they could do is they could sign on and call for a special session. We've got one of the most powerful tools of all. You get to thinking what can be done. Well, the first thing is we can defund Fani Willis of the $3.5 million in taxpayer funds, you and I's hard-earned tax dollars, that are funding this type of rogue prosecution. It's a rogue communist domestic threat to our Constitution, Fani Willis. You know, I want to defund Fani Willis of the $3.5 million that she receives in taxpayer funds, and people say, well, that's not a lot of money. But for Northwest Georgia, in my district, it is a lot of money, especially when our district attorney has a triage of cases himself, and he can't find attorneys to prosecute those cases. Why can't he? Because they're working in Fulton County and these other metropolis counties because they have so much money, they're able to outbid him in Northwest Georgia. She's got too much money. That's what she's got. It's funny, I've been kicked out of the majority caucus, but I don't call them the Republican caucus. Well, they're RINOs. You're about to have a young hillbilly come off the mountain, and he's about to stir some stuff up. GOPs across the state are sending out a unanimous decision to support our efforts for a special session. And this is the first time I remember where you had metropolis GOPs in rural counties and coastal Georgia all singing the same tune.
They want the special session, and no one is listening to them. They are even doing resolutions at their meetings. I'm not sure why those people in leadership under the Gold Dome are not listening to we the people.
Citizens demand accountability. Hope to have had that in the election, but unfortunately the election has shown itself to be fraudulent. And so then their second round of accountability is dependent on their legislators taking action. You know, we're far beyond now just an election being stolen. Now we're taking political prisoners. And the precedent that sets extremely dangerous. When you have attorneys who are being charged, facing the rest of their life in jail, how do other attorneys in the state reconcile that? People look at Washington, D.C. and they think, oh, the communist takeover is just in D.C. But Charlize, it's here. It's in Atlanta. It's within the Senate chamber.
People are scared to speak out now, which is what they want us to do since January the 6th. And if you can indict a former president and 18 others, it's only a matter of time before they come after you and me and everybody else in the state of Georgia.
I hope you will join us in becoming a Rhino Wrangler. But if that Rhino gets away from you, well, you can always run for their seat. So I would encourage you to think about it, pray about it, talk to your friends and family about it, and if we can be of any help to you, please don't hesitate to reach out.
Continue to call your state senators, your state representatives, write letters, do op-eds to the newspaper. The more action people engage, the more things will happen at the Capitol.
Yeah!